Good morning, you guys. It's your girl, the Real True Divine Feminine, and I come with a quick little message for you guys. And my message to you guys is, let me tell you something. The enemy will use folks now to try to get under your skin, to try to get to you, to make you go off, to make you retaliate, to make you do all that. And listen. When the enemy is near, your blessing is near. Sometimes the enemy will get to us to try to make us miss our blessing, but you can't miss out on your blessing. You heard me? You can't miss out on your blessing entertaining the enemy, trying to learn another lesson. Point blank and period. Sometimes it be so hard to walk away, especially when people trying to do stuff and play with your kids. It'd be hard to walk away from circumstances and situations like that. But you got to learn how to keep your faith in God. You got to learn how to walk. Feel what I'm saying? You got to learn how to walk in your faith, talk in your faith. Even when your flesh wants you to do something else, you got to learn how to fight those temptations because, you know, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. So you got to learn how to transmute that energy from negative into positive. And you know, sometimes you don't want to do that because sometimes you want to go back to the old ways of how you know how to do things. But sometimes them old ways of you going back to do things is not the right way. And you got to learn how to switch that energy around. You got to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, walk. Even though you want to run up, you got to learn how to walk. You feel me? And walk. And sometimes you can't walk at a fast pace. Because the enemy, he has set up traps every which way for you to go. But you got to learn how to stay woke and stay focused on the task that's at hand. Yes, listen, sometimes it's going to get hard. It's going to get frustrated. Things going to come about, but you got to learn how to press. You got to learn how to press your way. You got to learn how to not to allow things to get the best of you. Because let me tell you something, when you're on assignment and God has placed a calling over your life, every which angle somebody will try to hit you at, every which way people will try to set you up because they don't want you to be where God has called you to be, or they don't want you to go where God has called you to go. Like the same people that throw obstacles in your way and the same people that do stuff to hurt you, you're going to always watch those people fall. They're going to fall right before your face. I promise you that. Whether they go into prison, they go into the grave site, they go broke, they go homeless, they go whatever. The same people who try to throw obstacles in your face and try to stop you from being where God has told you to go and doing what God has called you to do, they're going to fall. You're going to watch them fall. You're going to watch. They're going to demise their own self by trying to plot and plan against you. You got to learn how to just keep going, bruh. It gets so frustrated. I know it gets frustrated. But you got to learn how to walk past all that. You got to learn how to look past all that because guess what? It's bigger than you. It's greater than you. That little problem that you may be facing or that problem you feel like that's a small thing to God. God wants you to understand you a whole giant. So them small things shouldn't even be able to reach you. Shouldn't even be able to get you out your character because you're a giant. And when you're a giant, you got to learn how to walk and be a giant. You got to learn how to talk and be a giant. Little stuff can't bother you. You heard me? And see, these people, the reason why they trying to throw stuff at your ankles, because they can't reach you on the level that you at. So they try to throw it at your ankles to keep you bound, but you ain't bound to nothing because who God said free is free indeed, and you free to live and go and do what you want to do. Don't let nobody try to make you do something that you don't want to do. Don't let nobody paint no illusions over your face, point blank and period, because if God told you he was going to do it, he going to do it. He going to bring you to it. If God brought you to it, he going to bring you through it, point blank and period. So don't fall for no illusion. Right now, it might not look like it's working out, but I promise you it's all working out. You just got to trust and believe in God and have patience and wait on him. His timing is not our time. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations when we waiting on him and situations don't go the way we feel like we're going to go. But God know when to step in. He know when to show out. He know when to do what he need to do. You just got to be patient and wait on him. You can't be worried about what they doing or what they saying or how they trying to do stuff to you. You got to learn how to keep going in the midst of, even when you see it. Even when you see what they doing, you got to keep going because God will show you. God will show you what people doing to try to stop you, to try to hinder you. But he's showing you that to show you that you're stronger than that. You better than that. You bigger than that. You got to keep going. You got to hold on to God's vision, the vision that he gave for you. Because like I said, everybody not going to be happy about where you're going. Everybody not going to be happy along your journey. But just know that you're protected. Physically, spiritually, you're protected. God going to always protect you. God going to always protect who He is and who He loves. God going to always set the right people in the right places to help you along where He needs you to be. You just have to stay prayed up. You just have to know the enemy going to come, and you can't fall into temptation when the enemy come. You got to learn how to get past all that. You got to learn how to walk. You feel what I'm saying? You got to learn how to walk. Allow your faith to walk and talk for you. Because people, man, listen, people something else. But you just keep going. You just keep going and don't fall for the tricks or the illusions of the kids. You feel me? Because let me tell you something. People that love you and wish the best, they're not going to try to hinder you. They're not going to try to stop you from what God's trying to do. They're not going to try to throw no obstacles and roadblocks inside of your life. You feel what I'm saying? Be very careful of people saying that they're trying to help you, but they're really trying to hurt you. Really lying on you. Really trying to find out information to use against you. Y'all got to stay woke out here. A lot of times we sleep, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking about me too. A lot of times we be sleep on stuff that God be telling us to stay woke on. You know, just stay prayed up and allow God to do the rest. The enemy gonna come anytime. He gonna try anytime, but you gotta be on your P's and Q's and don't fall into temptation and keep going no matter what it's looking like, no matter how tired you may get, no matter how frustrated you may get. You gotta keep walking. You gotta keep going. You cannot allow your anger and your frustration to take over, because then you allow the enemy to win. And we're not allowing the enemy to win nothing in our life, no matter what it look like. No matter what it look like, you got to trust in God's plan. It's all a part of His purpose. And we got to trust in His purpose. But we cannot fall into temptation. This your girl, the Real True Divine Feminine. I don't know who that message is for, and I don't know who needs to hear that message. But I pray it reach whoever it needs to reach and help who it needs to help. You guys have a blessed day.